this guy was married, and at the end of the day, we were together first. So I guess it was being that, like, okay, we had our relationship first. You know, I didn't really know how to deal with that. I was young, you know. I'm not like if I could do it over, I wouldn't mess with a married man again, you know. But I was young.
One of hip-hop's most iconic duos appeared to be the perfect pair. From the outside looking in, fans were given glimpses of what appeared to be a normal, loving relationship, depending on what your definition of normal is. Despite the occasional clues of trouble on the horizon, fans were here for the notorious Big's relationship with fellow bad boy artist Lil Kim. Little did they know, not everything was butterflies and roses. Behind the scenes, Kim was stuck in a repetitive cycle of psychological and physical abuse at the hands of her 3-year beau. Infidelity and misogyny is a recurring theme in the hip-hop community, and Kim unfortunately got a hands-on experience, from being forced to abort her baby to having a gun pulled on her and her decades-long beef with Faith Evans. You're ready? Because we're about to dive into a story about prostitution, heartache, and the recurring theme of overlooking black women's trauma. After being forced to live with her father in Brooklyn, New York due to her mum's inability to provide for her and her brother, a young Kimberly Jones, like many other young teens without guidance, felt the need to grow up pretty quick. Things would soon begin to escalate after Kim began dating and sneaking around at the age of 13. Her dad wasn't having none of that, and according to Kim, he became verbally and physically abusive towards her. It had gotten to the point where Kim's defiance took its toll, and she would later be kicked out. She began couch surfing, and men would offer to clothe and feed her in exchange for sexual favors. Kim would later meet a 19-year-old Biggie Smalls by happenstance on a street corner and decided to put on an impromptu performance. According to Kim, Biggie was sold and allowed her to join his collective group, Junior Mafia, later on, and she'd end up being the only girl in the group. During this time, Kim was also dating a guy named Sean Powell, who had recently been arrested for robbery and had been sentenced to 8.5 years in prison. While in prison, the couple got engaged and Kim would visit him frequently, but over time she lost interest and the wedding would later be called off. She focused her attention on her rap career, and a brewing mutual interest between her and Biggie would soon take place. Kim was on the road to stardom and everything seemed to be going just fine. That is, until everything wasn't. Biggie had taken a liking to Kim, skill and personal wise, and the two began a legitimate relationship, but there was just one slight problem. Biggie was married to his high school sweetheart Jan Jackson. Whether or not Biggie and his baby mama were officially separated by the time him and Kim were an item is unknown, but will allow your minds to wander. The couple had a baby girl in August of 1993, and Biggie would go on to marry Faith Evans in 1994. So where does Kim squeeze into all of this? In a Hot 97 interview, Kim describes Biggie as having two sides, but blames it on him being a Gemini.
You serious?
She goes on to describe him as a huge teddy bear, but from our own research and her own words, we aren't too sure how much of that is true. In a podcast, Jermaine Dupri recounts the time where Biggie once pulled a gun out on the crush on you rapper while he and a young Usher were in the studio. So what Biggie did was he wrote the rap for Lil Kim, and Lil Kim at this particular point in time, this was the time big. I'm thinking he fucked Kim's sister. This is in the music though. This is in the music, and she found out about it, so she was upset when she came to the studio about this, and he couldn't really get her to do the rap. Kim responded with, "We did have a violent relationship." She says, "I hate that for a while that was all I attracted, violent guys. You know how it is when you're in the industry. The guys can do whatever they want, but you can't do crap. You can't do nothing." In her Hot 97 interview, Kim not only confirms that this incident in fact did take place, but she even laughs about it. Biggie met Faith Evans at a Bad Boys promotional photo shoot sometime in 1994. According to Evans, this is how the story goes. Biggie needed a ride to Brooklyn and asked Faith, who agreed to take him, and they immediately hit it off. In an interview with Vibe magazine, Biggie admitted that he fell for the R&B singer hard. He said, "I married her after knowing her 8 days and I was happy. That was my baby. At the same time, with us being so spontaneous, we did it backwards." In her memoir, Keep the Faith, she talks about finding out if Big was still seeing other women and goes into detail about the time she pulled up to his hotel and put the paws on a naked Kim laying in Biggie's bed. There I was, rocking a black scully cap and a heavy goose down jacket, tiptoeing into the elevator and pressing the button to go up to the second floor where his bedroom was located. I got to Big's bedroom door, turned the knob and went inside. As soon as I saw a small lump next to Big's large frame, I flew into a rage. rage, ran over to the side of the bed and pulled back the covers. I grabbed some chick out of the bed and started beating her ass. At some point, the chick's wig came off in my hand. It was a short, cropped wig. I stopped throwing punches for a minute to get a good look at the chick I was beating up. It was Lil Kim. She was completely butt naked, yelling as I pushed her around the room. Evans eventually became pregnant with the couple's first child in 1996. Little did she know, Lil Kim would also become pregnant in the same year. Now you're probably wondering, well, where's the baby? During an interview with The Source, Kim states, "I already knew the kind of relationship that Biggie and I had, and I knew that having a baby was something that couldn't take place." The reality was Biggie had encouraged Kim to have an abortion. Kim's awareness of sleeping with a married Biggie Smalls is what has kept her and Faith's beef alive, long after Biggie's unfortunate passing in 1997. Over the years, Kim has blamed her mistress' actions on her being young at the time and said if she could do it all over again, she would never mess with a married man. During an appearance on the DJ Who Kids radio show, Faith insists it's a situation she's long been at peace with. "My issues with Kim really went out of the window when Big passed, to be quite honest. It's something that people always kind of talk about, but it's certainly non-existent. Thankfully, now she's in a different place where she can kind of receive how I was already feeling. It's all good." The two were seen in high spirits at the Bad Boys tour back in 2016, Kim even initiating a hug from Faith, and the two were seen chatting it up. Not long after, the two would collaborate on The King and I, a joint album by Faith and Biggie back in 2017. We're glad to see these ladies have put aside their differences. Kim and Biggie's relationship nowadays is often glamorized as a hip-hop power couple, partly due to the fact that Kim continues to speak on his legacy any chance she gets. She often sings him praises and laughs off any questions or concerns having to do with the abuse she endured. We all know abuse can taint the way one views themselves, and it's clear that Lil Kim's wild teen years and traumatic experiences, not only at the hands of Biggie but other men in her life, took a huge toll on her mental health. Over the years, we've seen major changes in Kim's appearances, most notably her nose and lighter skin complexion. She blames the extent of changes on low self-esteem she had due to her ex-boyfriends physically assaulting her and constantly telling her that they preferred lighter skinned women, a saying many black women unfortunately are all too familiar with. Was it love, or was it all just a chapter out of a messy side chick love story? No shade to Kim, we love you girl. Let us know your thoughts about this hell of a love triangle down below in the comments. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and come kick it with us the next time True Celebrity Stories decides to pry ourselves into someone else's love life. Thanks for watching.